Sometimes, life separates us from the people we love the most. But true friendship, true love, never disappears. This is the story of Cuddy and Miriam, two girls who had nothing but each other. They shared dreams, tears, and moments of joy. Until one day, life forced them apart. One stayed behind with broken shoes and a heavy heart. The other went far away, with guilt in her eyes but hope in her soul. Stay with me until the end. Because this is not just a story. It's a reminder that real friendship always finds its way back. Chapter 1: School Days of Laughter and Light. Cuddy and Miriam were inseparable. From the first day they met in high school, they shared an instant connection that grew stronger with each passing day. Sitting on the same bench, sharing their lunch, walking home together, they were more than best friends, they were like sisters. At school, they were known for their jokes. Miriam had a loud, contagious laugh, while Cuddy had a quick wit and always found the right words to make everyone laugh. Teachers often asked them to quiet down, not out of anger, but out of fondness. Everyone appreciated the joy they brought. Their days were filled with laughter and stories. They visited each other's homes often. On weekends, if Cuddy wasn't at Miriam's house, then Miriam was at Cuddy's. Their families knew each other well, and both girls were treated like daughters by the other's parents. They cooked together, danced to music, and even did each other's hair. Homework was never boring when they did it together. They challenged each other to learn better and faster. When one struggled, the other helped. When one cried, the other listened. They promised never to spend more than a day apart, and for the longest time, they kept that promise. Sometimes they would lie on the grass after school, looking up at the sky, dreaming aloud about the future. They talked about going to university together, starting a business, even traveling the world. Nothing seemed impossible when they were together. Their classmates called them the twins because they were always together. And deep inside, both girls believed nothing would ever change. But time, as always, had its own plans. Chapter 2: The Exam Season and a New Challenge. When the final year of high school began, everything shifted. The national exam, the baccalaureate, was approaching. It was the key to university, scholarships, and future careers. The teachers became stricter, the lessons heavier, and the pressure intense. Cuddy and Miriam, true to their nature, faced this together. They stopped playing as much and focused on their studies. They spent sleepless nights reading, solving math problems, memorizing notes. They barely ate. Their favorite spot became the school library. Often, they stayed until 6 p.m., long after classes were over. Sometimes, they would fall asleep on each other's shoulders while studying. Other times, one of them would read aloud while the other walked around to stay awake. They created a timetable and pushed each other to follow it strictly. Even when they were tired, they reminded each other why they were working so hard, for a better life, for a future. When the exam date arrived, they were assigned to different exam centers. It was the first time they would be apart during something so important. They hugged tightly before leaving, whispering words of encouragement. "I know you'll pass," Miriam said, holding Cuddy's hand. "And you'll pass with honors," Cuddy replied. After the exams, they met again. Both of them felt the exams had gone well, and they were excited. They made plans for the results day and dreamed again about going to university together. They were sure nothing could separate them. Chapter 3: Results, Separation, and Goodbye. The results day came. The school was full of noise, excitement, and nervous energy. Miriam found her name first. She had passed with high distinction. But her joy faded when she couldn't find Cuddy's name. She searched again, then again. But it was not there. Cuddy had failed. Miriam couldn't smile. She ran to find her friend. Cuddy was sitting alone, her face still. When Miriam hugged her, she broke into tears. "I'm so sorry," Miriam whispered. "It's okay," Cuddy said softly, though her heart was heavy. A few weeks later, Miriam received a letter. She had earned a scholarship to study abroad. It was everything they had dreamed of, but now, it felt incomplete. Miriam didn't want to go without Cuddy. But Cuddy, strong and supportive, insisted. "You must go. For both of us." In the following months, they worked together to prepare Miriam's documents. Cuddy helped her get the passport, the visa papers, and even accompanied her to shop for clothes, shoes, and travel bags. They laughed while choosing jackets for the cold weather Miriam would face. When the departure day came, Cuddy and Miriam's family went to the airport. Everyone was emotional, but none more than the two best friends. At the gate, Miriam hugged Cuddy tightly. "I'll call you every day," she said, her voice trembling. "And I'll be here, waiting," Cuddy whispered. Miriam turned and walked into the waiting hall. Cuddy stood watching until she disappeared from sight. On the way back home, Cuddy cried silently. Her friend was gone, and she had to face everything alone now. She returned to their favorite spots, the grass field, the school bench, the library. Everything reminded her of Miriam. But she knew she had to prepare to retake the exam. Miriam believed in her, and she couldn't give up. Chapter 4: A New World, a New Loneliness. Miriam's plane landed safely. The city was cold and unfamiliar. She called her family immediately, letting them know she had arrived. Her voice was tired but excited. She also called Cuddy. They talked for hours. "I miss you already," Miriam said. "Me too," Cuddy replied, forcing a smile through the phone. University life began. The classes were in a new language. The students were different. Everyone seemed to have their group of friends already. Miriam struggled to fit in. She remembered Cuddy every moment. During lunch, she looked around for someone to sit with, but she missed their shared meals. During classes, she wished Cuddy was beside her, helping her understand. On weekends, while others went out, she stayed in her room. She talked to Cuddy every chance she got. They spoke about everything, the cold weather, the school system, the loneliness. Cuddy told her about her new preparations for the next exam. She studied hard again, sometimes using Miriam's old notes. Miriam sent her videos, voice messages, and motivational words. But the days felt long. Miriam had never imagined that being far from her best friend would be this hard. She made some acquaintances, but no one laughed like Cuddy. No one understood her jokes or dreams like Cuddy. "I wish you were here," she texted one night. "I will be. Just wait for me," Cuddy replied. That hope kept them both going. Chapter 5: A Promise Across Borders. Months passed, and the new school year began. Cuddy had registered again for the baccalaureate. She was more focused than ever. This time, she had only one goal: to succeed and reunite with her friend. Miriam supported her from afar, calling her before every mock exam, reviewing notes with her, and encouraging her with every message. Cuddy pushed through her fears and doubts. Finally, the results came. She had passed. Cuddy screamed with joy, tears running down her face. She immediately called Miriam. "I did it. I knew you would." Miriam replied, her voice shaking with emotion. But their happiness was soon shadowed by reality. Cuddy didn't receive a scholarship. Her parents wanted to help, but they didn't have enough money to pay for studies abroad. Cuddy tried to hide her sadness, but Miriam could hear it in her silence. "Don't worry," Miriam said gently. "I will work. I will send money. You will come. We will be together again." "You don't have to do that," Cuddy whispered. "I want to. You helped me when I needed it. Now it's my turn. We made a promise. I haven't forgotten." From that day forward, Miriam took part-time jobs after her classes. She saved every coin. Every effort was for Cuddy. They spoke every night, holding on to the hope that one day, soon, they would walk side by side again, not as two lost friends, but as reunited sisters. Cuddy and Miriam remind us that when the heart is sincere, no distance is too far, and no challenge too big. Even without money, they held on to each other with love, courage, and the dream of being reunited. So, if you have someone in your life who supports you, don't let go. And if you're walking through life alone right now, keep your head high, because your true friend may be walking toward you at this very moment. Thank you for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who believes in friendship. Subscribe for more powerful and emotional stories. And remember, the strongest friendships survive every storm.